Hi, students and families. I hope you had a chance to watch my first video. I'm just kind of welcoming you to the NGC and specifics about the ninth grade community. Again, my name is Ms. Richter. I am the ninth grade school counselor here at the high school. Today's presentation is just a little bit more specific on our scheduling process and how that will work for Eagle Online students. So you are getting a specific video to your student since they are an Eagle Online student. The process is quite similar to those that are in-person learning. There are just a few differences, and we'll go over those today. I like to start off by sharing the graduation requirements. Quite often, students have a hard time transitioning from the junior high to the high school and wondering if it really matters if they pass all their classes. And so I just like to go over, it does really matter. You need a minimum of 20 credits in order to graduate and earn your diploma, and this is the breakdown of how that happens. So you'll take 4 years of English, you'll take a semester or a half credit of health, 4 years of math, you will also take a half credit or a semester, 2 semesters of PE. That can also be waived if you are an athlete or in the band, 3 years of science, 3 years of social studies, and then overall 5 elective credits. Most students, I will tell you, do graduate with more than 20 credits, but that's the minimum you need. 1 credit of your elective classes does have to come from fine art. So if you're not artsy, and that's totally fine, just know that you will have to take 2 semester classes or a year-long course. Ceramics, photography, theater, whatever that option is, I just like students to know. So oftentimes if I'm talking to a student that hasn't done well for semester, and I say, well, you have to make up that class you just failed, they'll look at me shocked. And they'll say, well, I failed 7th grade math and I didn't have to remake that class. And I'm like, well, it's different here at the high school. So I just like to give a little spiel of high school does matter, your classes matter, and you have to pass classes in order to eventually get your diploma. So rant over. This is our selection worksheet, and there are 2 ways for you to get a copy of this worksheet. The first is going to be in the main office of the junior high. There are extra yellow copies of this sheet that you can stop by and pick up. The second option is I have listed here a website, and if you go to that website, all of the worksheets are available to print there, so you can print one there for you and you guys to go over. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. This is the actual worksheet. I did want to point out it's very important when you print the worksheet that your student's name and ID number are on that worksheet. That is the only way that I will know who it belongs to. So I need to make sure that information is legible and at the top. So name and ID. This is a zoomed in copy of that form, and I'm just going to go through how you fill it out and then where you're going to turn that form back in and how you can do that. So this form is broken up into what I like to call 3 columns, and I'm going to go through each column, but we're going to start up top here with our one-to-one digital learning box. Most students will check either box 2 or box 3. The first is that you're going to bring your own device to the high school, but it was not purchased through Milford. So if you are using a Dell laptop or a Mac laptop that you bought yourself, but you bring to school every day, you will check, or that you would bring to school every day, you'll check that second box. If you have a Chromebook that you bought through Milford and you're going to continue to use that here at the high school, you'll check the third box. Most of you will not need to purchase a new Chromebook. That would be few and far between. So most of you will not have to check that first box. We're going to start with this first row. This is what I like to call your core requirement classes. So math, science, social studies, and English, as well as world language. So like we talked about in my first presentation, we have CP classes and honors classes. CP stands for college prep and honors. The good thing is you are not locked into one track here at the high school. So if you're really math oriented and you don't love English, you can take CP English, but then take your honors level math course. So all students will take an English, math, science, and social studies. So a check mark will go on one of those. And then world language is not a core requirement for graduation. It's not a graduation requirement, but it is a college requirement for many colleges. So if your student believes that they're going to be college bound, it is my recommendation that they take 2 years of a world language. So if you took French 1 at the junior high, you're going to register for French 2 if you passed French 1. So on and so forth with the other options. Now looking at the PE box and then these other 2 boxes, these are what I like to call your elective opportunities. The one I want to hit on first is health. Health, you will notice, doesn't have a semester because health is something that you're going to do on your own as an online course. If you are interested in taking your health requirement as a freshman, just go ahead and check that box when you sign up. We'll talk a little bit more about health in a moment. The other one I really want to point out is our team study halls. I would say over 95% of freshmen take a team study hall. We will be block scheduled again next year here at the high school, meaning that your classes will be 90 minutes long and you will not have every class every day. There is a 5th period block kind of in the middle there, and that class will be every day. And for us, that's going to be our team study hall. So majority of the freshmen will be on the NGC side during that bell, and that's where they'll take their study hall. The positives of that are that all of their teachers are free. So if they need retaught a concept or they need to make up a test or an assignment, that they'll have all of their teachers free to do so. And so I think it's really, really important that you think about taking that team study hall. The other options are kind of listed in boxes and they're listed by topic. So, music and theater, art, business, so on and so forth. And so that's where you get to look through and see, well, what interests you and what do you want to take? You'll see over here in the corner, there's something called alternative semester courses. So you will list your top choices, and I'm going to show you an example of this in a moment. You'll list your top choices on this actual form, but I need backup options in case those don't work. So that little box needs to have 3 courses in it that you want to take. So if your first choice is ceramics and your second choice is photo, you would mark that on the form. But if ceramics or photo are not available, this is where I'm going to pull an option from. I like students to know if you do not fill out this box, you're giving me the chance to pick for you. You know yourself better than I do. You're going to pick a much better elective than I probably would for you, so you want to make sure this box is filled out. So I'm going to give you a full sheet that I have filled out, pretending that I'm coming. And I'm going to show you what we did, and then I'm going to show you how you do it as well. So I picked CP English, so I put an X there. I took Math 1 at the junior high, so I'm in Honors Geometry. And so I checked Honors Geometry. I'm going to go CP Bio and Honors World History. And then I took French 1 at the junior high and passed it. So I'm on French 2, onto French 2. So I marked that. I am going to take health. I'm interested in getting that requirement done. So I marked that. My top 2 choices are Introduction to Theater and Financial Literacy. And I am going to take that team study hall. You will notice down here at the bottom, there's a box that says you need to equal 14 semesters of classes in order to know that this sheet is complete. You're probably like, well, where are you getting the 14? Every class has a number attached to it. So we're going to count up all the X's that I have and see if they equal 14. So English is 2, Math makes 4, Bio 6, World History 8, French 10. I'm not counting health because there's no number there. Theater 11, Financial Literacy 12, and then both of my study halls 13, 14. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, skipping health, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have reached the number and I can put 14 on that line and know that I'm done. You will also see over here on the alternates that I have listed my 3 alternate courses. So if I cannot get into Introduction to Theater or Financial Literacy, I am willing to take photo, social psychology, or musical theater. Those are my backup options. So that is kind of how you will fill out the form. And then I do want to talk quickly about health. That health requirement, it doesn't count for those 14 because it's an online course. So a lot of our students this year that have chosen to take health have done so during their advisory time or their study hall time. Both of those will be available next year as well. And so you will have built-in blocks during the day where you can get that health course done. Truthfully, it's easiest to get it done freshman year and get it out of the way. So we just recommend signing up and getting it over with, but not to count that in your total 14 semesters. I did want to talk quickly about AP or advanced placement courses. If you are a student that thinks that you will be taking an AP course next year, I wanted you to know that there is an additional form that you will need to print off and turn in with your scheduling form. That can be found if you click on this website. It's going to pull up our AP website, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And there is a 9th grade AP form right here that you're going to open, and then you're going to print off and sign. And that form is just telling me that you agree to the year-long commitment that is an AP course. I want you to know it's a college level course. You are preparing for an exam at the end of the course. You need to prepare for a much more increased workload in order to take that AP test. And overall, the class is harder. Typically, I would say the students that do the best in AP classes are students that are across the board honor students as freshmen. It does not mean that if that is not your student that they can't eventually take an AP course, but the transition to high school is hard enough, and so we don't want to add more to their plate than what's necessary. And so just keeping in mind balance is very, very important for freshmen. So if you're wondering about your math track, there's a flow chart that you'll be able to look at on this presentation. That'll be sent to you, and so you can open that up. I would also recommend reaching out to your math teacher at the junior high, and they would be able to help you if you have math questions. If you're looking at the scheduling worksheet and you wonder what a class is, like what would this class entail, you're going to follow this link, and it will pull up this website. This is our course selection website. You're going to click on the course selection guide. And let's say that I really am wondering what foundations in education is. That's a Great Oaks program. So I would go to the Great Oaks tab of that course selection guide. And I am going to scroll past marketing because it's not marketing. I'm going to go to the teaching professions courses. You'll notice that foundations in education is that 9th grade course. And there is an entire paragraph that will tell you what the class is about. And this is available for any elective that is listed on that worksheet. So this is where you would go to find that information. Trying to find there we go. So lastly, a couple key important dates for you. On the 17th of February, I am available via Zoom if you have specific questions. That's one of the junior high conference nights. You will have information given to you on how to sign up for that. I'm also available at all times by email and phone, and I'll get back to you as I can. Your scheduling worksheet is due on February 19th. So that is either going to be given back to the junior high. You can turn that back into the junior high, and they will get that to Mrs. Cornelli, and she'll give it to me, or you can email it to me. Needs to be filled out, and then also if you're taking the AP course, that would need to be sent with it as well. So those are one of two options on how to get those back. I will then get all of those forms and I will input them into the computer myself, and I will take care of that portion for you. So for Eagle Online students, the main goal is to go ahead and get that course selection sheet either printed off at home, or you can pick one up at the junior high. You're going to fill that out, and then you want to get it back to either the junior high or myself on February 19th. Lastly, I have listed here my email and my phone number in case you have any specific questions. I am happy to help. We are excited to have you at the high school next year, and we are hopeful that Eagle Online has been a success, and we will be excited for in-person learning next year. Thanks so much.